Welcome back to the Avatak. I'm your host, Prescott Chambers. Another battle to the bitter end in this throwback Thursday night showdown. This game 8 of 82 at home versus the Hartford Whalers, the Carolina Hurricanes. But both teams wore their throwback jerseys tonight, so we got to see the Nordiques versus the Whalers, which was awesome to see. But, of course, here's the Altitude broadcast team to rub it in my face that I did not get a Nordiques jersey. Which, I get it. Hopefully they do another one. That's all I can say. Hopefully they do another drop. We see a little awesome little celebration of Brent Burns making it to 1,500 games in the NHL, which again, he is only the 26th, 23rd, 24th. I can't remember. Not very many players have made it to that many games. It was a really cool look seeing the throwback jerseys on the ice tonight, though, and Altitude even used some old school graphics to top it all off. Some 80s, 90s style graphics, just basic looking stuff, but it was really cool. It made it feel very nostalgic. Correction on my last video, it was actually Nate McKinnon that had the overtime giveaway that led to the breakaway goal that made us lose in 33 seconds in overtime. Not Marty Necas, which doesn't make it any better, but I figured I'd just correct myself on that one. Period 1 was a very high-paced start, which was expected as Hartford is coming into this one 5-1, and the Nords sit at 5-0-2. Only about 3 minutes in, at 3:07, the Whalers score first with a no-assist goal from Eric Robinson to make it 1-0 Hartford. Then less than a minute later at 4:04, Valeri Nichushkin scores a no-assist backhander to make the game tied at 1. At 5:50, Charles Alexis Legault gets called for roughing, giving the Nords a power play, but at 7:17, Seth Jarvis gets a breakaway and scores a shorthanded goal for the Whalers to make it 2-1 Hartford. Nordiques getting picked apart by the Whalers at this point. Just starting to make defensive mistakes and allowing turnovers and just looking quite flustered on the ice. Not really too sure what was happening there. At 12:41, Sebastian Aho scores a deflection goal with assists coming from Nicola Ehlers and Seth Jarvis, and it's 3-1 Whalers. Not sure what's going on at this point. Whalers have 3 goals on 9 shots. After that, at 13:40, less than a minute later, Logan Stankoven gets awarded a goal with assists from Jackson Blake and Taylor Hall when Wedgie backs his pad into the net, making it 4-1 Whalers. And this one, it was like his left pad that the puck went up on, and he slid backwards into the net to basically give them the goal. It was a little odd. He was looking just a bit off tonight, and this goal causes Jared Bednar to pull Scott Wedgwood. And we get to see Trent Miner in his very second NHL appearance ever. His first being last season against the Washington Capitals, I believe. The final few minutes tick down in this period, and we end the first with a score of 4-1 Whalers. Period 2, Nords really need to start making something happen in this one. And at 1:58, they get another power play on a slashing call. Avs have a couple good sorry, not Avs. Nords have a couple good opportunities, but go 0 for 2 on the power play after this one. At 4:46, less than a minute after the power play ends, Sam Malinsky throws one towards the net that goes in and gets credited to Parker Kelly after going off his glove. This hand deflection causes a challenge from the Hartford Whalers, but the call on the ice stands, and the score is now 4-2 Whalers. And the Nords get a third power play for the Whalers losing that challenge on the ice. This one was a little weird because I almost thought it was going to get called back because it almost looked like Parker Kelly like threw it towards the net, but they called it a deflection off his hand, so I will take what I can get. They come up unsuccessful on their power play after the challenge failed once again, and I'm really not sure why our power play can't seem to score on anything. It seems like we can't get anything inside the zone so we can actually like cycle the puck around, which really needs to happen for us to score. Sometimes we can get stuff on the power play rush, but we need to get in the zone and actually be able to cycle the puck around. Nordiques start to pick up the pace of play. At 8:15, Taylor Hall gets called for slashing, and the power play once again comes up empty. Nords are playing much better defense in this period, though, and allowing less shots on net, which is very good to see after that first period show of play. At 12:33, Brock Nelson gets a tripping call, and which gives the Whalers another power play. I believe their second of the night. Quebec gets 2 good turnover breakaways while killing the penalty, but Freddie Anderson says no. Forgot to mention goalies for this one were Freddie Anderson and originally Scott Wedgwood, but now Trent Miner. Trent Miner is looking great on the few shots he has faced. At 18:39, Quebec gets another power play on an interference call. Nords can't beat the power play clock, and we go into the third with a score of 4-2 Hartford. Quebec gets some great chances to start the third. They only have like 10 seconds of power play left, I think, to start the third. Freddie Anderson is actually having an out-of-body experience on this night. I'm not sure what's going on with him, and he continues to save the Whalers all night long. At 2:01, Sam Malinsky gets called for interference against Taylor Hall. Nordiques kill that power play. Then at 4:45, Marty Necas snaps one in the back of the net with the assist coming from the Nate Dog. It's 4-3 Hartford. At 5:14, Parker Kelly and Taylor Hall get into a little scuffle that send them into the box and gives us a 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Then at 6:57, Valeri Nichushkin absolutely manhandles Jalen Chatfield while simultaneously going forehand to backhand. But the otherworldly Freddie Anderson makes yet another incredible save on that. Nichushkin able to draw a holding penalty, though, on Chatfield that gives the Nords a very short 4-on-3. Quebec fails to score on the power play. With 10 minutes remaining in the third, shots on goal are 40-22 in favor of the Nordiques. At 13:18, Sebastian Aho gets an interference penalty, and at 14:09, the Nords' 7th power play of the night, Big Val Nichushkin scores a beautiful rebound goal for his second of the night, with assists coming from Victor Olofsson and Cale Makar. We are officially tied at 4 apiece for this one. At 16:01, the man who ties up this one goes to the box for interference. In the chaos of a rush, we see two more penalties get called on Jack Drury and Sean Walker, which I kind of think calling that, like, it was a double holding call, I believe, but Sean Walker essentially just dragged Jack Drury to the ground. Like, I don't know why they called anything on Jack. Nonetheless, at 18-13, Brock Nelson gets a high sticking call and gives Hartford their third power play of the night. Nords kill in regulation, leaving the Whalers with 13 seconds of power play to start OT. Nords start the overtime well and kill the remaining power play, but with terrible timing, Natchez draws a penalty, giving Hartford 2 more minutes of 4-on-3. Trent Miner is making absolutely beautiful saves. With a minute 16 left, Logan Stankoven gets sent to the box on a high sticking call. Nords can't solve Freddie Anderson, and we are forced into a shootout for the second time this season. In the shootout, first player that is sent out by the Whalers is Seth Jarvis, and he scores one, puts one right past Miner, and that's the only goal they score on the shootout. Quebec sends out Valeri Nichushkin, Martin Natchez, and Arturi Lankinen tonight, all of whom aren't able to score. Trent stops the other 2 Hartford attempts, but it's not enough, and the final score after the shootout is 5-4 Whalers. Overall, first period was an absolute bust. Quebec crumbled under the quick pressure that Hartford threw at them. I think we would have had way more successful. Well, I think we would have been able to win the game if we would have had a successful power play tonight. We only went 1 for 7 on the power play, which is abysmal to me. That's terrible. The effort was there from the second period on, it seemed like, but the power play just wasn't functioning at all. We just need to stop the slow starts. Those need to be stopped as soon as possible, because that's going to kill us. Next game is on Saturday, October 25th at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, on the road in Boston against the Bruins, the first game of their first back-to-back of the season. As following this one, they'll hop a plane to travel to New Jersey to take on the Devils on Sunday afternoon. But until then, as always, I'm your host, Prescott Chambers, for the Avattack, and I would like to ask you to remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.